Hey everyone, welcome to Programming Paradox. I am Yogesh Tripathi, and today we are diving deep into the world of coding. Whether you are a complete beginner or looking to sharpen your coding skills, you have come to the right place. So, without further ado, let's move to the problem statement.
All right, so here we are in this problem statement section, and we can see the statement of the problem. According to this problem statement, we can see design a robust bank management system that enables users to manage customer account effectively. All right, so let's understand. In the real world, we can see there is a bank inside, and inside that bank, there are various accounts, and we need to implement that real world scenario with the help of the code using Java. This is the hint. We need to create the account class. Inside that we are going to set these properties, and these are methods, getter methods, and this constructor. And then in the back class there are accounts. Using hasmap we'll be creating accounts, add account, and then remove account, count account, and then display account details at the last. So here it is the overall coding structure that we need to implement, and then we will run the code using driver class. So let's go to the IntelliJ IDE to solve this problem. Alright, so you can see I have already opened this IntelliJ IDE, and this IDE is one of the best IDE available in the market for the Java codes. So I'm gonna create new project, and the project name that I'm going to give is bank project. Let's create this. Alright, so you can see the window here, and here in the left side you can see all the properties related to this project. In the source, I'm going to create this package first. So you might have this doubt in your head, what is this package? So package is nothing but a folder. In your Windows operating system, you can see there are many folders. So the same way, package is the best way to organize your codes, classes. So I'm going to give this project name as the bank pro one, and inside this package I'm gonna create this class. So the first thing that I can do is let's create account class. All right, in the bank there are many accounts. So what does account hold? Accounts generally holds account ID. So let me create this private int account ID, and account holder has also its name. So the data type must be string, private string name. Then after that, account holder balance. So private double balance. Alright, so this way we have created three properties of this account class. So with the help of the constructor, let me generate the constructor first. So with the help of the constructor, I'm going to give the values to the properties that we have created here. As you can see here, account ID, string name, and the balance. The moment you are going to create the object, we'll send those properties as argument, and these values will be initialized at that time. So far we have created the constructor, and let's generate the getters and setters method. Those who don't know about the getters and setters, we'll discuss about it later in some other video. But here you can understand one thing, that whenever we want to set the values of these properties, we can use setters, and whenever we want to fetch the properties of these properties, that moment we can use the getter methods. These getter methods will give you the values of these properties from your driver class. Alright, so now we are going to create our class bank. And inside this bank class, alright, so what does bank holds? Bank holds various accounts. And in the bank, you can see there are many accounts in the bank. So what we can do and how those accounts are accessed. All those accounts are accessed with the help of the account ID. Account ID. So for this implementation, what kind of data structure we have? We have arrays, we have strings, but they are a data types which holds only one kind of value. But in this case, we need a such data structure which can hold account ID, and with the account ID, it must hold the account information. So to do that, there is one data structure provided to us by Java is the hash map. In the hash map, it holds two values. One is key and another is value. Alright. So in our case, the key is going to be ID and the value is going to be account object. So this way we have created, and let's get the name to this as accounts. In this case, let's generate the constructor. I do not want to pass any value as argument. So you can see this is the non-parameterized constructor. And inside this, what I can do, counts equals to new as map. So here we need to create a method to add count in it. So let's create a method public, and the return type giving is boolean, and the method name as the add account. What it will take as the argument, it will take account busy. All right, do not take it as, do not write it obj, just as this. So we want to add count in this hash map. So whenever we add a count in the hash map, it returns null value if it finds no previous value. So I'm going to write this count dot put is the method given by hash map. You can see it is denoting integer key and account value. Alright, so here the account, account dot get account ID. And then what I'm going to give the second parameter as the account. This will return us null value. So I will put this and I write through here, and in the else condition I'm returning this false. We'll understand this working when we will actually add the account in this bank. Then after that, what method can we create? Public count get account. Alright, it will take ID. So return accounts dot get ID. This way it will return you the account information. Now we can create a method related to see how many accounts are there. So we can check it by integer, and the name must be count count. This must return counts dot size. And at the last we need to create the removal method. So public, let's create it as the boolean data type. Remove count. On the basis of the ID I'm going to delete. So let's create this delete, and in the return statement accounts dot remove. Remove is the method. This is the one constructor, and this is the another constructor you can see. And this type of constructor takes only key on the basis of the key. It will delete the object or the it is showing the error. Alright, we have mistaken here. Let me put a condition here. If accounts dot remove ID is not equals to null, the moment it deletes the account, it will return the account data type. So the moment it deletes and it is not null, that means our account has been deleted. So it will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. So far, we have created these methods: add account, this get account, this account method, and this remove account. Right? This name doesn't suits good, so let me give another name: account info. This must be perfect. Yeah. So far we have created class account and this class bank. Now let's create the driver class. To do that, I'm going to create the Java class, and let's name it as use bank. And in this use bank, since this is the driver class, let us write our main method. And inside this main method, let's create our first account. So let's check what are the properties inside this account: account ID, then string name and the balance. First account ID, then name and then balance. This is the sequence for the constructor. So let's create the account. Person 1 equals to new account. So ID I am going is 101. The name I check. And suppose he has 90,000 in his account. Alright. So let's try to understand its working. What is happening behind the scene. So the moment I write this line, let's understand what happens behind the scene, what actually happens when we write this line. Because as a Java developer, I believe that you must understand what is going on the moment you write this line, how the object is getting created. So let's move to this section. Alright, let me create this heap area. Suppose this is the used heap area. This is the heap. And the moment you write this new account, it will create the object of the account in the heap area. So let's move to this section. And suppose what are the values that you have given? You have given 101, you have given name as Jack and 90,000 rupees. So it will ID is 101, name as Jack, and balance as 90,000 rupees. And it suppose it has the address 1000. So the moment you write new account with the arguments, will create this one. And here in this case, this will throw the address, and the address will be held by this reference person 1. This person 1 will start pointing to this one, and this person 1 will hold this address as 1000. So the moment you write this new account with the arguments, it will create the object and it will throw the 1000. And this reference person 1 which we have written over here, this person 1 will hold that address 1000 and it will start pointing to this whole object in the heap area. So this was the working behind the scene, how our account was getting created. Now let's create another account. Account person 2 equals to new account Let's give it the ID 102, the name as Alice, and suppose its income is this 150K. So let's see whether the accounts we have created are actually created or not. So how can we check that? So before we check, we need to add these accounts to the bank. So till now we have created this account, but we have not used this bank. So let me create this object. So what can we give the name? So suppose the name of the bank is SBI equals to new bank, and here you can see this SBI is the reference pointing to this bank, and since it is the non-parameterized constructor, here it will create this accounts hash map. So now let's add this person 1 and person 2 and see. Alright, so we can directly see by account ID person 1 dot get account ID, headed, and then you can see SBI dot add account. And inside this add account, we need to give this person 1. Right, let's see what is this add account. And account takes add, add account takes an account object. So we have passed this whole object person 1. So let's click on the run button. Our code is being built. You can see here. It is getting compiled, and yeah, you can see here in the output control our account bit 101 is added. Now let's add the second account that we have created. So UT, and let's copy this. The moment you copy this and you paste this in this print field, and let me change this person to that object we have created and this account ID. Click on the run button. Alright, so our account 102 has been added to the bank. Now let's see how many accounts are there. There in our bank SBI. Alright, so in order to do that, let me call this method SBI dot get count. Not. I just wanted what method we have created regarding this count. Root account info. I have given the wrong name. Give this account count. I think this must be in the name. This must be get account info. Alright, SBI dot get account count. Let's click on the compile button. Yeah, we can see two accounts have been added to the bank and the number it is from 2. So far we have implemented this add account method, this account count information. Now let's see the account information. So what is system out of println account info for, let's see the information for the person 1 dot get account ID. What method do we have? SBI dot get account info, and the ID must be given as the argument. So yeah, now let's try to see what happens. Oh, we can see this strange thing here. Account info for 101 equals to bank throw 1. Oh, this is the our package name, and account is the class name, and this is the hash port. So how is it possible? Since we are trying to print this account information and it is printing this, so we need to understand this. So let me try run this. Before we try run, let's try to understand one scenario. The moment you write a string str equals to, suppose you branch, and you try to print str, you can find my name, but here string is the same str. This str is the same reference which is pointing to this Yuvraj object. We need to understand one thing. The moment you write try to print object, it will work as object dot to string. So in our case, to string is the method of object class. So there is a rule: whenever you create your class, that moment you need to override to string method. In our case, this string has overridden has already overridden this toString method. But in our case, here you can see sbi.getAccountInfo. Let's try to move this section. It is returning accounts.getID and it will return account object. So in this whole field, you will have account object, and in the next moment it will be treated as account dot to string, and this will call parent class to string method, and by default toString object class returns package name dot class name followed by hash code. So you can see here, the moment I try to write this, I see. Let's again run the code. Yeah, you can see here the package name bank project dot account class name, and this has code. So we need to override this toString method. So let's move to our account class. Let's try to override this. Obviously, we are going to call this method. That is why it will be public, and since it is returning a string, the return type must be string, and the method name is toString. So it must return a string. So in the return statement, you can see what are things. We have account ID, we have name, we have balance. All right. So account ID, account ID. Then we have name. So we are writing this name here. Then we have balance. All right. So yeah, now let's try to run this code again. And yeah, here you can see account ID 101, name as Jack, and the balance as 90,000. So this was the whole story that was happening behind the scene. Let's remove this code here. All right, let's again run the code. So till now we have seen the implementation of account to count, the implementation of get account info, add account. Now let's see the implementation for this remove account method. So let's call this. All right, let's see what is the return type. The return type for this is boolean. All right, So account ID, let's remove the person two dot get account ID, then remove status. Let's call this using remove comment. We need to give this ID. So let's copy and we need to pass this. All right. So let's try to run. What happens? All right. Account ID 102 remove the status is true. So if the account has been deleted, so the count should be 1. So let's try to check that. SBI dot account count, it must be printing 1. Yeah, we can see 1 here. So that means our code is running very fine. So yeah, this was the overall implementation for our this bank project which we have created. First we created this account method to store all the account information, what generally uh, should be there in the account, and then there must be a bank which will hold the all information related to the account holders. So yeah, we have created this. Now this is our driver class, and that's the driver class. We have created our main method, and we have implemented all the methods which we have created in this bank class. So thank you very much if you are still watching the video. See you in the next video. Till then, keep coding, keep learning.